The journey through the pit lane. Okay, restart time. Puts it in the hands of Shane Van Gisbergen in the acceleration zone. Look at them all spread out. They go in search of their own piece of real estate. They bump and grind and push and shove. And now they've got to come all back together again for turn one. Jason Bright over and up and into the wall. Oh.
That started with Slade down the inside.
Yep, I'm trying to just give us a radio call if you're there, Brodie.
Huge damage to car 16 of Scott Pye again.
Yep. Check, please. You got me?
Chaz Mostert.
Team Cairo, Adele White, Wally Story in the foreground, engineer.
Andrew Edwards, Jason's engineer, is frantically trying to make radio contact. And damage to Lee Holdsworth. The front left, that's going to wobble its way around the circuit for car 4. So, and look on the inside of the cabin. Oh, gee, that's huge.
Just got to go steady now because he easily run straight to the fence here.
And he was already carrying damage to the front left-hand corner of that car, and they were asking him to just take it easy. So Tander's got damage in the front right-hand corner there.
Well, that's how it started. Yeah, because Slade was down the inside. That's how it started. So Slade was down the inside with Tander and Courtney, 3 abreast, team cars.
Van Gisbergen's come in, by the way.
Switch it off right now.
He's out of the car. Jason Bright, okay.
Scott Pye's out of the car as well.
Fantastic.
So this was the race leader. And this is going to be a significant delay to get that car cleared.
Brighty was involved in a pretty big crash at the Bathurst 12 hour that he wound up in hospital for. He was checked out and okay. So that's 2 enormous shunts in the space of just a few weeks.
The hard thing when you're upside down in the belts is actually to be able to safely manoeuvre yourself out of the car. When electronics in the car after a prescribed period don't sense any action from the crank trigger, the electronics in the car shut down. Here's the replay. This will give us some explanations.
We'll try to come in together. So it's Tim Slade leans on the Holden Racing Team car, which just sends Team BOC Commodore flipping into the air. This was what happened. They all fanned out and then they all came back in, and it was never going to work. Van Gisbergen and Kelly get through, and then watch car 47 just pushes across, and it doesn't take much for Garth Tander just to lean on the front left-hand side of Jason Bright.
It's that secondary impact that's the worry there with the wall, and it got right up on the top of the debris fence.
This is Lee Holdsworth's view. Oh, that was the big crunch that he... Okay, so he got hit by Scott Pye and a few others.
The contact actually started with the 2 Red Bull cars. They actually made contact on the way in there also. There's Slade down the inside. He makes contact with Tander. Tander makes contact with Bright. Totally out on the slide. Full opposite lock, so he's trying to steer it down. So Jason's trying to make sure it doesn't turn onto its roof. It then catches the curb, and the curb then trips it over. So as it gets to that point there, it was always going to turn over.
Must have picked up the front right wheel of Tander's car in order to be able to do that launch, and Tander's in the pit lane and has been there for a while now as well, so it'd be pretty fair old damage on that. It's this next whack with the wall. All this stuff looks spectacular, but at that stage, you know, it's not a crazy amount of damage. It's this next one where it hits the concrete wall. It is tyre protected and then gets into the debris fence, where they're going to have a big nightmare trying to resolve getting this car back in shape.
Well, fortunately, where the massive load has actually taken place in terms of the final part of the crash, Neil, it was actually against the tyres there. That's taken some load away from that.
And that's a tonne and a half. Yeah. That's a tonne and a half in the air there.
Well, so there's a fair bit of front end damage to it. It's a long way back, so I don't think there was any chance we're going to get back out again anyway.
Tim, you must be pleased, though. I mean, you've been close to this whole development of this new generation of car, and it's incidents like this, as ugly as they are, it's great to see the drivers get out as they do. I mean, it's a great endorsement of the vehicle, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw that accident with Courtney last year as well, and I mean, we've seen similar accidents in the past that have been, you know, a lot more serious, the consequences. So, absolutely.